Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm Jeff Dover. With me is John Barbin. Let's talk football.
All right, we're gonna do NFL week. Where are we? Week 12.
Week 12 preview.
Picks and previews, but let's review our stellar week from last week.
I would like to do nothing more than review week 11 with you, John. You're just an absolute genius and a scholar. Mm-hmm. So we went 7-2 on our NFL bets. That's got to be some kind of record for the internet and fellow professional podcasts among us.
And we needed it because we got smoked in our college bets.
Just wasn't going to say that, but sure. Yeah, okay. It made it better. Mm. And we had, what was great about this too was betting multiple bets on the same game and having the game really work out like how we thought with talking about it, right? So we had Houston -7.5. They're just a better team. Houston, Dallas over 42.5. Houston did most of the work on that one. Dallas, we only needed like a score from them, and that worked out exactly how we thought. And then you had a great call. This was late. The one you put on was Indy, New York over 43.5. Now that when we heard Richardson was playing, that was fantastic. And then the Indy +3.5 got the win out right there. Yeah, I don't know why.
That's why these shirts, they got the shirts for double bets on both of these teams.
Yeah, and I don't, and God, the Jets are just really struggling. Yeah. Minnesota -6.5, again, just the better team. Green Bay, Chicago under 41.5. That was crazy, but again, that's exactly the game they play. Like it's a classic like 2017 thing. Yeah. The Seattle San Fran less than 48.5. It's pretty crazy considering how squirrely it got at the end, but like the Seattle can't run the ball, so they're one-dimensional, so they're easy to defend, and San Fran is just a shell of themselves compared to last year.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They just all of a sudden they can't score.
Yeah, the thing that would have been tough is the Green Bay. That was a real small needle to thread. Green Bay -6.5, then also the under, but so we didn't get that one. That's fine. I'd still take that again. Like Green Bay was the better team, for that game.
It's not unrealistic for them to cover a touchdown again. I mean, the Bears are just falling apart right now.
Yeah. And then Jacksonville, Detroit, less than 47.5. Well, Detroit screwed that one all up in there. Who saw that? How rare in the NFL do you get like a 50 to something?
Well, the Jags gave up. We in our review of that week, the Jags fully gave up. If the Jags bothered to show up even a little bit, it wouldn't have. I mean, the Lions still would have done all the scoring, but it wouldn't have been this ugly.
Like, that was crazy.
They gave up 650 yards of offense. That's a give up. That is not a better scheme.
It shouldn't happen in an NFL game. They're professionals, even if they're anyway.
There's not even a pride factor left there.
I'd do that bet again because we didn't miss by much.
I thought Peterson was going to get fired, but then I heard a good take on Middlecoff's podcast. He was saying, well, what's the value in firing him now? It's kind of doesn't get you anywhere in the middle of the season. We know he's done. Same with McCarthy. We know he's done.
Yeah.
Same with Eberflus. We know he's done. Just like, why bother putting yourself in the Jets situation right now?
Yeah.
Might as well ride it out. You're going to get a new coach anyways. It's not going to materially, it won't make any difference unless there's some sort of financial reason to do it. All you're doing is causing even more of a circus around your team.
Yeah. In college, there's some of it is an advantage because you're in terms of making the first hire and stuff. But in the NFL, it doesn't really work like that. Like all the change is done later. Like, and no one would agree to coach a team unless if they're waiting on another team, or do you know what I mean? So like they pretty much all do it at the end of the season. So there's
I just thought it was so. I mean, the Jets getting rid of Saleh, what a mess. But the way this went down, the way the Jags just gave up, it's indicative of how the Chargers gave up on Staley last year, and they just had to. They couldn't keep him around after that. So that's what I thought this was.
Yeah,
but it just seems like they're just going to ride it out. There's just no way Peterson's back.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So picks and previews for this coming week.
Yep.
All right. Shall I start?
Please.
All right. Now I got a crazy one coming out of the gates here. I'm taking the Colts +7 against the Lions.
What?
What do you mean?
Did you see what happened last game?
But that's the Jags giving up. This is the Colts with a new life, and now they have their quarterback. It's not Flacco. They're not doing this floating around like, oh, I guess if it's Flacco, then we don't have a quarterback because he's not our future. But then our future quarterback's on the bench, so now we're just nothing. Now and he put in probably his best game as a pro so far. Now, he had a couple bad fumbles, but the point is he came back and he won, and he engineered the drive to win.
Do you think Indy's defense is going to be able to hold Detroit to like a reasonable number?
Look at the game they put in against the Texans.
Yeah, that's true.
They can put in a bad game. Now, I don't expect 5 interceptions or anything.
Right.
But I guess it's almost a regression to the mean. The Lions can't just keep scoring 50 points a game. Yeah. That's not. I just can't see that happening.
A lot of Indy games are close. They're like within 7 points.
Their defense is pretty good. Is pretty good, and we have to remember the Lions are missing their star edge rusher. Then the guy they just picked up's not bad, but it's not like a Hutchinson. And to your point, they are getting pressure up the middle, but it would be different if they were full strength. But I think Laporte is out too.
Yeah,
and
the home dog more than a touchdown is a fair.
What did you have it more? I have it at +7. What do you have it at?
No, +7.5. It's +7.5. So it's over
100% +7.5 for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming the Colts are as a team are feeling it that, okay, we actually have our guy. And we're at least going to rally around him and put a real effort in here. They're not. It's not going to be a Jags give up type thing. The Colts are going to show up ready to play. So, I mean, I could have some recency bias. They just beat the Jets, and the Jets aren't that good. But I also just can't see the Lions constantly doing this. Like at some point, it's got to regress a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll take the 7.5 at home.
Okay. You do one more.
Cowboys at Commanders. Commanders -10.5.
Oh,
why would anyone think the Cowboys are covering anything at this point and on the road?
I was leaning more toward the over, similar principle to the Houston-Dallas over we had last week, where it's the Dallas is good. I think they could get like a score. They're also good for like a turnover or something. And I think there's multiple ways they could go over. It was just 10 points felt like a lot, but you're right. Dallas just is not. It's not that good.
How much did the Texans just cover? Was it
42.5? Was what it went over?
No. The spread. What they beat them by? They beat them by what?
Like
25 points or something.
Yeah.
Why would anyone think the Cowboys are going to be competitive at this point? Maybe ironically, they might play better away. They can't win at home. They haven't won at home yet.
No,
but
true.
I just don't think they're any good at all. And why would anyone bet on Cooper Rush? This team sucks. They just suck.
Yeah.
So anyways, and the Commanders have, again, back to my principle of a team that has something to play for. The Commanders have a playoff spot to play for. The Dallas has nothing to play for. I mean, not even pride at this point. It's just a mess. It's just a mess.
Do you have any thoughts on the Denver Raiders game?
It's my next one.
Okay, what do you got there?
Oh, Broncos -5.5.
Yeah, that's. I'm good
who
with
the
that.
hell's going to bet on the Raiders at this point?
I was thinking about the total because it's a crazy low total at 41.5, and I think Denver is hitting their stride offensively.
Totally.
So I was leaning the over, but I also just think Denver's a better team and less than a touchdown. We could do that.
Look at how Denver's playing. Look at how much better Bo Nix is getting. Yeah. And another way to say it is, are you going to bet on Antonio Pearson, I don't know, Gardner Minshew, whoever the hell they have at quarterback, versus...
They've lost 7 in a row.
Yeah, versus Sean Payton and how good Bo Nix is looking lately.
Yeah.
So, this to me seems obvious.
Okay.
Just seems obvious to me to take the Broncos there. I actually thought that line should be bigger. I'm surprised that's all it is.
It's under it. Yeah, 5.5. Yeah. So, okay. Do you, I'm for all the same reasons. I just don't know how Vegas is going to keep it close. And I think, and again, Denver, I think is peaking at the right time. So,
and Denver's defense is good.
And it is.
Vegas has no offense to speak of.
No, that's true. Did you have any thoughts about Kansas City, Carolina?
No.
Okay. This is sweaty, but I think I'm going to take the under because the Kansas City is just not blowing out teams, right? And their defense is excellent. And I think that Carolina is not going to give them much of an issue. And I don't think Carolina is going to score. So I think this is going to be, Kansas City's up 17-0 or 20-3 or something like that. And they're just going to sit on it because I think they just want to get out of there with the win. So It's a low total, but there's multiple ways we could get it under there.
I
So, and
don't think Carolina's doing anything against
no,
that defense.
I don't think so either. And it's I'm worried about the late cover, like a touchdown later, but doesn't mean anything. But like but either way, I
That's the
just,
perpetual worry on an under bet, right?
yeah,
The
it
late
is.
cover, the
You're right.
backdoor cover.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I
But
just don't. Why would anyone think Carolina's? If anything, I'm even more confident about that pick after the loss to the Bills.
yeah, yeah,
Now we had Looney Farm guy, one of our Kansas City fans. He pointed out he actually was relieved that they finally lost,
yeah.
and at least it takes the pressure of the undefeated season away, because that was always looming. Oh, can they do it? Like the Patriots got the Patriots got close but can't get over that. It's still just the Dolphins. Again, that was less total games. So the Patriots actually won 18 in a row and then lost the Super Bowl. So that's more, because in the undefeated season, I think the Dolphins only 17 total games all the way through to the Super Bowl. It's just a shorter season. So, and maybe they had a bye. Anyways, the point is that pressure's out.
Yeah.
So, and now they have some film to review and some bit of a reality check. Oh, right, we're not invulnerable. Our crappy offense, and we've just been getting away with it. Now they're not. Now they realize, oh, we can't just keep getting away with it.
Yeah.
This whole, we're going to find ways to win, but Mahomes is throwing 12, 13 touchdowns and 9 picks, whatever it is. It's not winning football on the offensive side.
Not your parents' Kansas City Chiefs.
No, it's the defense is carrying them. The defense still plays well.
Yeah, the defense is excellent.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say it was the defense's fault. Josh Allen's just from another planet.
Yeah.
So, but there is nothing like that on this Panthers team.
No, and
I think they're going to put up a fight here.
No, Kansas City has been under 30 points every game this year except one where they hit 30. So that means I just need them to hold Carolina to 10 or less. So
I think that's possible.
That's probable, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's cash money is what we say. So
yeah,
give me that one. Right, Kansas City under 42 and a half.
Yep. All right. Next I got Cardinals at Seahawks. I'm taking the Cards +1.
Yeah, man. I wanted to do that too, and I was worried it was just because we're Cardinal fans and we just think they're a good team. And at Seattle's always a tough one, but again, Seattle's pretty one-dimensional. And I don't like they're
still one-dimensional, and the Cards can run. I'm betting on the team with the more dynamic quarterback and a running game versus a team that all they can do is throw.
Yeah. No.
Sure, it's at home and the crowd's great and all, and it always feels like a playoff game there. Mm-hmm. And here we go. Now, both of these teams are in the mix for the division.
Seattle's lost their last 4 home games. So the home field is
best impression of Dallas.
Yeah. So the home field, while amazing, has not led to wins.
And ironically, how about this? I don't actually think the Seahawks win over the Niners is much to shout about. I just think the Niners are reeling and there's not that good.
That's a good point.
I was just listening to a Niners podcast. They were saying they haven't. I didn't even think about this. The Niners haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet this year. So beating them is not anything. Yeah. It's nothing to shout about. So the Cards are peaking right now. Seahawks got that win, but I don't think it's a great win.
Yeah, that easily could have been a loss. Like that took a miracle Geno Smith situation to get it.
Good for him for doing it. Yeah. But I just head to head, I would just +1. I just don't think the Seahawks home field's going to matter here as much as maybe the odds makers think it is.
Yeah,
the Cards are just peaking right now. That's at least that's what I see.
Good call.
Yep. All right, I got 2 more.
Go ahead.
All right, now this one I'm not 100% sure about. Ravens at Chargers.
Oh,
I want to go over this total, and it's high.
Oh man.
Yeah.
49.5.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's complete assumption that this is going to revert back to a Ravens high-scoring game.
Wow, this is the highest total of the week, and we're going over.
Why do you have to say stuff like that? This makes it sound like such a dumb idea.
There's a reason why it's a fast track, right? It's SoFi Stadium. Both teams can score. Like and neither defense is that good. Baltimore's defense isn't that good. The Chargers let the Cincinnati come back last week, So, and this is something that was interesting that they mentioned on the broadcast. for the Chargers game is that the way that they play, because they get a good pass rush, they really just keep both safeties back, which allows the other team to move the ball, and then they just sort of don't give up a touchdown kind of thing is like the plan. But
red zone roulette, essentially.
Yeah, but with the Ravens, like with their running back, the Henry, and Jackson and the tight ends that they have and the receivers, like they have multiple ways to score in the red zone. So I think that could be a lot. Baltimore's defense isn't that good, so I think Chargers can go up. That's the reason why the total's that high. But yeah, let's do it. Like this can be like a 30-23 game or something like that, easily. So yeah, let's do that.
I'd like it to be a little bit higher than that.
Yes.
That would be a little sweaty, but I see what you mean. The Chargers were holding the Bengals back for half a game and then just let it all go on the second half. And the Ravens, I just can't see the Ravens having another game how the Steelers just shut them down. Maybe
I think it's
Steelers defense might be unique in that one. And just the familiarity, and for some reason, the Ravens just can't beat the Steelers. They beat them once in the last 10
the Ravens
10 years.
had over 40 points in a 3 out of 6 game stretch.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way, we just need 10 points from the Chargers, which so that you could do that.
And I was looking at the statistics. It's just the way the two teams run defenses versus run games all line up. It just seems like this is going to turn in it. This has potential to turn into a game where it's just throwing the ball down the field. And Herbert can throw. Herbert's way better than I would say the Steelers quarterbacks, Wilson or Fields. So if the Ravens are susceptible to the pass, the Chargers can pass. So I don't know. I just think it's going to revert back to what a typical Ravens game has looked like this year.
That'd be great because we haven't had like a high scoring back and forth Monday night game. Would be a lot of fun. So
yeah, it would be.
That's I'm all about it.
So yes, Dover, I'm taking the over on the highest point total of the week.
Perfect. They can't stop us. Can't slow us down.
No. This is what we do here. We just
do here.
We just cash in on NFL bets. All right, I got one more. Do you have anything else?
No, it's fire away.
49ers at Green Bay. Take Green Bay -2.5.
Ooh.
Why would you go near the 49ers here?
That does that hurt you a little bit to say that? Like, because you were on the San Francisco.
She doesn't know I'm betting on Green Bay.
But you've been a staunch San Francisco supporter and fan for some time.
Only because I live with a giant San Francisco fan.
We don't tell anyone.
Well, because how about this? Because in our household, the 49ers is appointment viewing because of Dina.
Yeah.
I'm intimately aware of all of their shortcomings.
Yeah.
Because then she also listens to 49ers specific podcasts afterwards. So then I get to hear their insider analysis. So if anything, between these two teams, I'm more aware of how shitty the Niners are.
Yeah.
And obviously I watch all the Green Bay games.
They're struggling. The Niners are really struggling. It's at Green Bay.
Purdy's hurt, by the way. Purdy's shoulder's hurt. Bosa's 50-50 for even playing this game.
Yeah. And it's under a field goal. So that's a solid bet.
And there's no significant injuries on Green Bay's side. Unless somebody's unless we don't know there's something wrong with Love, but I think he's fine. Yeah. And hopefully LaFleur has sorted out his ridiculous red zone offensive play calling and just takes the points when they're there. He doesn't need to run the score up against the Niners because I don't think the Niners are going to score much here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
I think that's a pretty obvious one. Minus 2.5.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's all I got for bets. I mean, I don't know if there's other games I want to watch. I mean, I won't go. The Patriots are I'm super curious because Drake May is playing awesome.
Yep.
And this validates my point about he should have been in all along. He's already passing other rookies for TDs thrown, even though he started.
Yeah.
He missed 6 games, and he's passed Williams and a few of the other rookie quarterbacks. Yeah. So I'm just curious to see how he develops. I'm assuming the Dolphins are going to win that game, but the Patriots went from why would you bother watching to me anyways, it's must-watch TV just for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Titans, Texans, who cares?
No, I was trying to get up for the Pittsburgh Cleveland Thursday night game, but I just don't have any juice for that one either.
I was curious in thinking about the Eagles Rams game, but I can't. It's not obvious to me what to do there.
No,
I
Rams are playing better. The Phillies the better team. The Rams are playing better. But Philly -3 feels like that's the right number. And even the total being it's a little on the high side, 48.5. I'd be tempted to take the under, but
I mean, I want to take the Rams plus the 3. And the last time we took them at home, they just laid a total egg.
Yeah,
They just didn't. Their offense didn't show up at all. And it's weird. Some of these teams who have good offenses, that inexplicably the offense just doesn't show up.
Yeah.
And that last game, I don't think it's because the other team, the Dolphins, were shutting them down. They just couldn't hit an open receiver. It was bad. So I don't know what to expect here. The Eagles are the better side here. They're the better team. But that's why I want to just. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be a fun game, but I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I'd say with Tampa and the Giants, I don't have any interest in watching that game. I was thinking about taking Tampa. I just think they're the better team, but
they're the obvious better team. But I don't know. Maybe they get a wave of momentum with Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to take the over, if anything, in that one because it's 41.5. It's pretty low, but I don't know.
But my last memories of him playing the Giants were pretty bad.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know. That's just stay away from that one. Yeah. And the Vikings and the Bears don't really. There's nothing obvious to me here. I just think the Vikings are going to win. So, anyways, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's it. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, join us after next weekend when we're cashing in these bets as well. All right. We'll catch you later.